This is your last challenge in this part. Your goal is to recreate this interface from a weather app widget. I did set up a starter project for you with many of the elements styled and some data to use so you can focus on the layout. But if you want an extra challenge and more practice, there's nothing in that starter file that you couldn't make yourself, including the data model. All you need is your own Swift skills, regular Swift UI components, and some SF symbols, so you can start from scratch. Remember that Swift UI is great for extracting and reusing little views, and I recommend employing ForEach for this challenge instead of a list. Okay, in the starter project, you've got this weather struct with a nested forecast type and this array of 5 hours worth of forecast. And up in the body of the content view, I've got this first VStack all set up for you with some styling. And then all of these little views are just hanging out in that VStack. Now I've got to make this view in the first tab look like the image on the second tab. I'll start at the top and work my way down. First, these two texts can be stacked together. And then the image and the other two texts should be stacked together, this time with a trailing alignment. Now I can stack both of these little V-stacks into an H-stack and stick a spacer in between to push each to its own side of the view. You could also align this H-stack on the bottom, and if you did, that's fine, but there is another kind of alignment for H-stacks that takes the baseline of text into account. So I'm going to use last text baseline, which will make these V-stacks align based on the baselines of this big 63 degrees and the high and low temp text. With that all set up, this is a great time to extract the whole H-stack into a subview. Next is the part that requires ForEach. First, I'll stack these three little views together. And then I'm actually going to extract just that little stack into a subview so I can repeat it with ForEach. And add a forecast property to pass in the data it needs. And adjust the views inside the stack to use that data. Now back up in Content View, I can start in H-stack and ForEach, pass in the hourly forecast, and I'll use the hour as the ID, then use that hourly forecast view inside the content closure. This is pretty close to the example, but the little forecast views are all squished together. I'll add a spacer on each side of each little view to space them out equally. And that's it, a nice little weather widget view.